What's going on, world? The universe, the people. It's Voice here, back with another weekly update today. It's always good to be fasting. Feel better in the fasting state than the eating state, but we'll get into that. But this week was a good week. Didn't really have no problems at all. I took it lightly with the fasting. I only did one 24-hour fast, which was a 26-hour fast, and I cut it off because uh, just because of what's going on. There was a big lunar moon cycle this week, and it was beautiful. I was fasting during it. Uh, it was some crazy energy, you know what I mean? That Scorpio energy. People don't understand all that, but in other details, the week went good. I started off my week with simple 16 on Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday I took it up to I did. That's what's different about this week because since I didn't do a big fast, I did pretty much three 20s in a row, then a 26-hour fast. So I did a 21 on Tuesday. No, Sunday, Monday I did 16s. Tuesday I did a 20. Wednesday I did a 21. Thursday's when I started my 24, and then I finished it Friday at like 1 o'clock. 1:30, I remember exactly because I had plans to go do something with a friend of mine. So that all worked out very well because even having different patterns, that's why I feel like always switching your patterns up instead of having the same pattern when it's time to go outside of your pattern. I'm not going to have, you know what I mean? It's not going to throw my body off because I'm going outside of the pattern. That's the thing about time restricted eating is you're picking the same time every single day. You go outside of that time, that's when the problems happen. So when it comes down to it, you want to always be diverse with the times. You want to sometimes eat early, sometimes eat late. I prefer to eat more later, meaning after 4 o'clock and before 9 o'clock. That window, I like that window. But when I'm working and then got a lot of stuff to do, we're traveling a lot, I'm going to switch it up. It's going to be more in the afternoon, sometimes in the morning. I eat in the morning. I won't eat all day. It depends on what we got planned. And usually I don't plan it a full week and, oh, I'm doing a 16 here, a 16 there. Usually when I wake up in the morning, because at night I'm cutting off at 6 o'clock or at 9 o'clock. One of those two, depending on what I'm doing in the morning before. I don't got nothing planned. I'm pretty much cutting it off at 9. If I got something planned, I'm cutting it off at 6. Just so I can have more energy and I can get the pushing on the detox on my body. Every morning your body detox no matter what. When you wake up in the morning, the crud you get out of your eye, the saliva you wipe from around your lip, the snot you blow out of your nose, the pee and the poop you do, that's detoxing from the night before. That's your body pulling. Literally, you got to think about it this way. Pulling everything out, coming to head and coming from the bottom too at the same time. Your body is literally pulling everything out. And that's when you break your fast, you're cutting that off. Okay? And that's why breakfast is breaking that fast. And a lot of people don't understand that basic concept. But when it comes down to a lot of when you simplify it, of course, when the sun rises, that gives you that morning energy. So your body has that natural energy to help push and pull. What I'm really talking about is when in the mornings when your hormones spike the most naturally. You have a natural hormone spike in between about let's say you get up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, right after you get up, after your hormones are usually coming the way up. Your hormones spiking, you running off that energy. A lot of people will say they don't like running off that energy, but you run off that energy no matter what. You cannot wake up in the morning, eat breakfast, and that energy what you just ate is energy. That does not work like that. Plain and simple. Your energy comes from the day before. When you wake up and you use energy for 12 hours, that comes from the day before or 2 days before, depending on how much you eat. You eat 3 meals a day, that's 21 meals in a week. You got a lot of meals to burn through, and that's why people work out on a regular. And that's why I like the fasting lifestyle. I don't have to work out and put a lot of strain on my body. I used to work out very heavily, started out wrong, corrected my way through, and when I got right, I wasn't even playing sports anymore. That's because I was focused on the things that I should have been focused on. And it was the misinformation that leads in this society that everybody coming out, you need to load up on this and load up on that. No, that's not true. Not everybody's body's the same, first of all. Second of all, uh, how your body uses the energy is completely different. I know some people that can eat before a lot of events and have no problems. When I was a heavy eater, I knew I couldn't eat 90 minutes, 2 hours before anything. Nope. I can eat probably some, like, the one secret was oranges, which I didn't think about until I started meditating on it. Like, yeah, I used to eat oranges during my sporting games, but that was about it. Oranges and bananas, because they say that keep away cramps. Yeah, because your muscles is like pretty much is drying up and it needs more fluids because of our diets. We don't keep our bodies hydrated enough. Like we're water based beings. Like our bodies are like literally 76% water. And this is what led me towards putting predominantly fruit into my body, because that's the better energy that I want, because the majority of fruits are 80% and up. So I'm putting a very, very familiar object into my body. When my body does that, that's the cleanest energy for my body. Now, when it goes to people talking about, well, where you get your protein from, I focus on amino acid chains. That creates protein. You're getting recycled protein when you get it from animals. I'm not really going to go into that, but animals don't eat other animals. Usually the meat animals, the animal meat people eat, that animal usually eat predominantly what? Fruits and vegetables and grains. 100%. You know what I mean? So you can't sit here and say that your diet should be primarily protein. No, I don't think that. I think it should be predominantly minerals, especially magnesium and phosphate. Those two are beasts. You know what I mean? Those are a muscle tensor and a muscle relaxer. Naturally, they easily work together. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other ones, but I like those two. I mean, how they work in your body, and those two are in a lot of places. You know what I mean? And so, when it comes, another point to come down to it is when you're trying to figure out, like, yo, what's best for you. You know what I mean? I came down to understanding information, where I'm getting it from, and I went universal instead of just thinking inside the box where I live at. I went more, all right, what this country over here is doing, what this country over here is doing, what are you guys doing over here? You know what I mean? In different parts of the world, you know what I mean? On the other side of the world, they got other crises that's dealing with the human body too, but they take a whole different approach. There are alternate alternatives that people do. And you know what I mean? That's what I focus on, because that's where I went to with my body. When I went to the doctors, they really wasn't focused on me. They was focused on a study of me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're in this age group, you're in this type of category, you do this and this. It was like they're figuring you out on a chart. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do this. And this is how doctors lead into misdiagnosis. And people are out here taking medication, doing these things, and it's completely wrong. Completely wrong. You know what I mean? Completely wrong. You can go to a doctor and they'll be like, oh, do this and that. No, wrong. You need to, I would say, be universal, be open-minded to a lot of other stuff in the world that you can open up. And that's how I found fasting, because I was like, outside the U.S., a lot of people talk about fasting. You know what I mean? Where I live at, nobody really talks about it. You see it in the main religions. You hear people, he say, she say about it, but it's not really a big focus. When you go in other countries where it's predominantly in their religion, oh yeah, you will hear about fasting all the time. You won't even see people pushing food. You know what I mean? It'll be more of a say that acts. Are you able to eat? You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I'm open to eat. You know what I mean? There won't be no, here when you tell people I'm not eating, it's a big, big problem. And it's like, why is that a huge problem to tell you, yo, I want to skip out on eating for this moment in time. I only want to eat. It's sacred to me. You know what I mean? I only want to eat here. You know what I mean? I only want to eat with my family. You know what I mean? That's how some people is with their family. I only eat with my family. Or I'm only eating the food that I came from my garden. That's what I want to get to. You know what I mean? I want the less hands touching my food. That's a lot of people don't talk about. Is how, like, the relationship between you and your food. Is it sacred to you, or is it whatever? Because if you put in whatever in your body really don't respect your ego. And they're going to be battling. Your ego want to go do this, but your body's like, sit your ass down. Oh, let's go to the hospital and spend about $4 or $5 grand because you're not taking care of yourself. And that's how it goes. People got hospital bills. People, And crime too. You know what I mean? People don't realize food triggers to living in high stressful states. You're always stressed. You're never getting what you want. I'm gonna go take it for somebody else. Pretty much, like simple forms like that. A lot of people when they go to jail, they correct their diets, they correct their lifestyle, and it completely changes. But they don't know. Living in this type of society, nobody really knows. You know what I mean? So it comes down to educating yourself about your body. You know what I mean? Finding the right things. I found my information, I ran with it. Found that I was magnesium deficient, and I went to all the fruit that had a lot of magnesium. I felt like literally I felt 10 times better. You know what I mean? Like I can't think of it right now what I exactly I ate, but I know like at certain points I focus on certain minerals and like, all right, what's the dominant fruit? What's the dominant fruit with this mineral? Or dominant vegetables or nuts and seeds. You know what I mean? I really simplified my diet. It really made it easier on my gut. And that's where you get your energy from. So just another weekly update. Uh don't want to get too deep into anything. Don't want to ramble on, you know what I mean? But today was a good week. Went up to that 26-hour fast on Friday. Then I cut it off at 10:30. I was out with a friend of mine's. Cut off at 10. You know what I mean? And then on Saturday I didn't eat until later, until 1 or 2 o'clock again. I think it was 2 o'clock, and I ate a little bit and I took a nap because I was busy all day long until I ate. And then I wasn't really. I just ate and I chilled and I passed out and I ate a little bit more. You know what I mean? And last night I ate pretty late because I passed out and I woke up and I didn't eat right away. And so when things you had a good week like that, you can flex your boundaries a little bit. It was like, all right, I'm gonna skip this day. You know what I mean? Even though I snacked a little bit on some fruit. Yeah, I had 4 oranges late at night. Supposedly that's bad for you, but I had took a nap. I'm good. You know what I mean? So I took a late nap. It was from like 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So I didn't know what to do. So I just ate some fruit, chilled with the kids until they fell asleep, and I fell asleep too. And I woke up early because that nap. You know what I mean? And that's another thing with fasting. Sleeping is different. Like when I sleep for 6 hours, man, I can stay up for almost 24 hours the next day. It's crazy how even when I take little, I'm 30 years old too, so that brings up the factor. But I, when I was 28 doing all this, and I wasn't really fasting, it was a struggle, and I was always chasing sleep. But now I'm not chasing sleep; I'm chasing what to do. So it gets down to that point. You know what I mean? It's like you enjoy life. It's way more simpler, way more gratitude. I enjoy it in a fasting state way more than an eating state. Always having a snack. Always thinking about the next food. Let's think about bettering yourself, bettering your character, bettering your body, bettering your mind and your spirit. But it's all love. Just all love, baby. Just trying to trying to preach what made me better, and I'm trying to help who needs the help. So if you know anybody that needs the help, pass along the message by liking, helping the algorithm, sharing it to somebody you know, and subscribing to the channel to help amplify what I'm doing, because I'm trying to get people on a get them out of that commercialism, like they always need to be eating. Like we just on YouTube and on Facebook and all the other social media platforms, a lot of people was watching other people eat, and I thought that was the most stupidest shit in the world. And I was starting my fasting journey right when that was really popular, and I really thought that shit was stupid. I was like, y'all might as well watch cows eat, because I saw all these people doing just stuffing their body, and some of these people were fasting too. I noticed that, like they were fasting too. So that's another secret. That's another secret. When you become a master at fasting, like you can push your body to the limits. But hey, we ain't that far yet. We ain't that far yet. But make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. It's all love, baby.